Go down to southern Minnesota. This is the Faribault area. I-35 southbound on the right side of your screen. Traffic moving along just fine, and the camera moving a little bit as well because we've got some wind to deal with in this direction. Wanted to show you this part of the state because for that upcoming winter storm, this is where the blizzard conditions could hit. And that's what Mike is going to be talking about here in a short moment.
Yeah, and Mike, here's the thing, is you're saying that the trajectory may have changed a bit.
It did, and we knew yesterday that that was possible. This is a shift of about 50 miles, so not a big shift, but it does have a big impact on what you specifically are likely to experience. So let me talk about a little bit about why it shifted, and that is really due to this storm getting over land, where NOAA and the National Weather Service have more sensors that they can deploy and use to find out exactly what's happening now and turn that into a more accurate forecast for the future. So what we're looking at here is water in the atmosphere, and you can sort of think of water in the atmosphere as a tracer for the way the winds are moving. And what we've got is this big deep trough. It's just this dip in the jet stream winds across the desert Southwest. Again, the core of that is now over land, and so now we have a little better fix on what it's doing now. And if we put good information into the computer models, they give us better information out. The opposite of that is garbage going into the computer models and garbage coming out. So now that we're a little closer in here to this storm system, we have seen a continued trend to push the heaviest snow and the highest impacts just south of the Twin Cities. Still a large swath of communities and counties under blizzard warnings, and winter storm warnings extend into Wisconsin as well. The factor that is going to be fighting against snow on the northern fringe of this storm track is dry air. So we have not only a shift slightly to the south in the storm track itself, but then also this layer of dry air that you can see has been slowly working in all day, these northeasterly winds here. So effective at evaporating some of the precipitation that's falling that we have seen this on radar pretty much all day, and little more than a sprinkle or a flurry has actually fallen from it. Again, that's the snow or rain falling from the clouds but evaporating before it reaches the ground because of this dry air coming in and undercutting it. And that is going to create a really, really sharp cutoff to the snowfall as you get farther north. We could be talking about, in one county, no snow to a foot of snow spanned across that entire county. The question, of course, is always, well, which county is that going to happen in? And again, we've sort of answered that. At least we are pretty confident that those counties will be south of the metro. We're also going to be dealing with high winds. So not only will the snow be coming down pretty heavily for a few hours, but it's going to be blowing around as well. So forecast wind gusts even early tomorrow morning in southwestern Minnesota up over 45 miles an hour. Here in the Twin Cities, windy, and a 30 to 35 mile an hour wind gust. And again, these are all northeasterly winds, so dragging in that dry air, doing battle with the moisture trying to come up from the south. By the middle of the afternoon, still dealing with wind gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour in the Twin Cities and 40 to 50 miles an hour to the south. Winds will still be cranking by tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, and then slowly those winds will settle down, but it's going to take most of tomorrow night to do so. So the entire time it's snowing, it's going to be blowing, and so that is definitely justified for our next weather alert tomorrow. But at this point, we are going to shift the focus of that alert out of the metro and into areas and communities just to the south of us for those blizzard conditions. And by the way, blizzard and heavy snow, maybe that sounds weird to you. Blizzard has nothing to do with how much snow actually falls. It has only to do with a combination of wind gusts and low visibility. So that's why we have to specify that. So we're learning a lot of stuff today, right? Very, very exciting storm to forecast and very challenging. So here's what we know. Tonight, down to 33. Cloudy skies, nothing going on here. Tomorrow, 41 in the Twin Cities with those gusty winds and maybe the slightest chance for a flurry or snow shower, but I don't even think it'll accumulate with temperatures around 41. To our south, we have a storm that'll be moving in, and so by 10 o'clock or so in the morning, it is snowing pretty heavily across the I-90 corridor of southern Minnesota, and there might be a period of a little bit of mixing, but we're right on the northern fringe here in the Twin Cities, and that snow kind of runs into a wall of dry air. Never really has a chance to do much the way things look right now in the metro. Again, if this storm shifts again, which I don't think is likely, but it could wiggle a little farther north, and that could bring the northern edge of the snow a little closer. Still snowing quite heavily to the south and east right through the evening commute tomorrow before that moves out. And we end up with a quieter day Thursday when we start to melt things down. So here's the best estimate on the updated snowfall amounts. By noon tomorrow, little to nothing in the Twin Cities. Southern Minnesota, enough to need to change your travel plans or at least take some extra time. And there still is the potential down to the south of 6 to 12 inches, 8 to 12 inches of snow. We're keeping everybody busy and on their toes. And in fact, we're going to add another chance for some rain mixed with some snow coming up on Sunday. But again, at this point, I don't think we have to worry about accumulations. And overall, those temperatures over the next 7 days, minus tomorrow, will be well above average. So melting will happen pretty quickly.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on it.